Hey guys, this week's episode is sponsored by Phoenix Film Collective. On June 22nd at 7:30 p.m. at the Parsons Center for Health and Wellness, see a special 50th anniversary screening of Midnight Cowboy, presented by Phoenix Film Collective in partnership with Phoenix Pride and Stacy's on Melrose. For tickets and more information, visit phxfilmcollective.com. That's phxfilmcollective.com. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Hey there, everyone. Thanks for listening to Limited Engagement. I'm your host for the show, Jared Duran. On this episode, my guests are Carrie Gillon and Megan Figueroa, who host one of my favorite podcasts, The Vocal Fries, which deals with linguistic discrimination. I'll get to that in just a sec here. Let's knock the business out of the way real quick. Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts or whatever app you listen to the show through. And please subscribe or follow while you're at it. That would be greatly appreciated. Social media-wise, on Twitter, at LTD_engagement. On Instagram, at LTD engagement. And if you're still on Facebook, you can like the Limited Engagement page there. You can also always head over to ltdengagementpod.com, which is in bad need of an update whenever I happen to find the time to do that. If you'd like to email me, whether that's with comments, questions, a suggestion for a guest, or you are interested in being a guest yourself, you can do that at ltd.engagement@gmail.com. And finally, if you'd like to support the show monetarily, you can head over to patreon.com/Hoot and Waddle. That's Hoot, the letter N, Waddle. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, but exclusives such as Patreon member-only things, including an exclusive monthly bonus podcast, swag and whatnot, they start at $5 a month. So if you're interested in doing that, you can do that. So, it's been a fairly long time since I have dated somebody new, and I'd forgotten how that affects the way I listen to music. Because, first of all, I didn't listen to a single fucking podcast all week long. I tried to start getting caught up on things a little bit this weekend, and so I'm almost caught up with some of those. But I've just been constantly listening to music. That's all that I've wanted to do, and all of it is colored by the woman that I'm dating. And not all of it. Some of it is just like, they're just great fucking songs, right? In fact, I have a playlist that's just called Great Fucking Songs, because then it's like this amazing jukebox, and I can be listening to it whether I'm out running or doing the day job and all that sort of thing, and it's just like, that's a great fucking song. So that's the purpose of that. But I digress, as I often do, and but there's a lot. There's also that kind of radar out there for, you know what, this is one of my favorite songs. I'd really like her to hear this, and or even the deeper, yeah, this song right now. This is so how I'm feeling right now. And I forgot how much I enjoy that. I don't know what happens to that. There are all sorts of cynical reasons I could talk about for why there's the arc of that. I guess that would be the ideal thing, though, right? Is that you never stop hearing a song that makes you think about the person that you're with. I don't know. But anyway, one of my favorite things has always been to make mixes for people and for the especially the women in my life, and so it's been fun. I made her a mix, and then just made a Springsteen mix because, I don't know. It's an odd time. Just enjoying it while as it happens, being present and in the moment, and that includes making a Springsteen mix. There's a lot. I've probably been making. I think the first time I made mixes earlier than that, but the first time I made a mix with intent, right, for a girl was probably when I was probably 13, right, and then of course it was a cassette, and so there are always the enjoyable, for me anyway, problems of negotiating the limits of a cassette with sides and what you can fit where, but I always have obsessed over the which songs are on there, what order are they going to go in, how does this one segue into the next, is it a good contrast, is there too much of the same thing on here, and I'll go through several drafts and obsess over the running order, and always handwritten along the way. There's something about that I think there's some something special about a handwritten playlist. Handwritten song list. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it takes some effort. But that's where I am with that. It's great. Just enjoy it moment to moment and write it out. And whatever happens, happens. It's like Robin Hitchcock says, that great song of his, Full Moon in My Soul. The past is over, and the present will be sadly. Don't worry about the future. Future, this is not Robin Hitchcock, although he may have said it. He says a lot of wise things about time in his lyrics. The future will shortly be the present, and then if you're looking out for it, you're going to miss it, right? There's the paraphrasing John Lennon, that, life is what happens when you're not paying attention to it or something, right? So you just try to pay attention. And that's what I'm doing. As I mentioned at the top, my guests for the show are Carrie Gillon and Megan Figueroa, who host the Vocal Fries, which is a podcast I love. It's about linguistic discrimination, which began with the concept of vocal fry, which we talk about on this show. There's a different topic with each show. They have a sort of expert in the field on each show, and the conversations are always fascinating to me. And their motto is "Don't be an asshole," which, how can you not get behind that? You can, of course, find the Vocal Fries, and fries is as in French fries. The Vocal Fries are on Apple Podcasts, and I'm sure a number of other apps. And you can also get to the show at vocalfriespod.fireside.fm. And I highly suggest you check it out. I had a blast talking to these women, and I hope you enjoy it. And we'll see you on the other side. Yeah, I don't know. It's all right. So you can wear the cans or not. It's up to you. You guys are familiar with all this stuff, right? So nothing
is nice.
Oh.
Yeah, our setup is not this nice. No, mine's portable, very portable.
This is portable. I've got the Zoom and I have a bag right there. I can get all of everything into and.
Yeah, we saw his other podcast live show last week.
Fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
What'd you do for it? Did you interview someone?
So one of the other podcasts I do is ostensibly on the Good Place, and I don't think we talked about the Good Place at all in that episode, but it was fun.
You did for like 5 minutes.
Maybe, yeah.
Total.
That sounds about right.
Do you think that they represent God and Satan?
You know,
Oh yeah, that would have been a good question to ask. I didn't think about it.
You should have been there.
I mean, I should be there everywhere.
There you go. But I think honestly, one of the reasons that I enjoy the show is that it really feels like they do their best to stay away from a Judeo-Christian, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so
that'd be a really good argument against that being the case. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, when I read it, I was like, that can't be true, though.
Yeah,
because it.
I kind of liked the idea of it, but I just didn't think it.
Yeah,
right.
I like the idea of them knowing that it could be it could represent that, but not ever going there.
Yeah, I would agree. So if you guys want to pull those in and get right up on there.
How many inches do you want away from? Oh, look, you're right there.
Like as close as him, probably.
Yeah, probably,
okay.
Yeah, if possible. Yeah, which means you'll have to slouch in that stool.
Oh, I slouch anyway.
I do too. I'm
right there.
I think that it's actually now responsible for some twinge that I have in my shoulder that's just there permanently.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm 36 now. It's all downhill from here. So
it's true.
Yeah.
I can attest.
Yeah. So, let's just get into it. Let's talk about how you guys met and decided that you wanted to do the vocal fries.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna start here because I met you before you even knew I existed.
Kind of, yeah.
Because you were my professor. Mm-hmm. The first semester you were at ASU, and actually the first semester I was at ASU too, because I transferred from U of A back to Tempe, back to ASU, and you were teaching quote unquote grammar. And one of the cool things about linguists is we have a different notion of grammar, so we can talk about that. But so I thought you were really cool because you congratulated us on electing Obama when that happened. And you also, so that's the one thing I remember. I remember two things: that and that you said that your brother wasn't your friend on Facebook.
Oh, I actually admitted that? Oh,
yeah.
Wow, what a coincidence. My brother is also not my friend on Facebook.
Yeah. And for some reason I was like, all right, there's something there. There's a history there that I want to know more about. But anyway, so she was my professor through my time at ASU. And, I just had a girl crush. So,
eventually we started hanging out after you weren't in my classes anymore.
Yeah, after I graduated.
Yeah. We became good friends. And then we bonded over TV with Buffy.
That's a good one to bond over. I was a latecomer to Buffy, but fully on board.
I was too, just because of my age, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of was too. I mean, late. I mean, it was the end of the third season.
Okay.
My professor introduced. So I went to the Arctic, which is an interesting place to go, but I was like...
The literal Arctic?
The little Arctic. Tuktoyaktuk, Northwest Territories, up in way northern Canada. Anyway,
wow.
So we had nothing really to do because there's not a lot there besides walk around and look at things. At night you're like, okay, what are we going to do? So she introduced me to Buffy. So anyway,
it's a good time.
It was really interesting because I never would have expected her to be the one who introduced me to something that I love so much. I mean, she's cool, but not in that way, you know?
Did Buffy keep you warm at night? Because that sounds fucking cold.
Well,
Do we cuss on this?
Oh, yeah, please.
Okay.
It was
cuss
not,
all you want.
it was not